Okay, I think it's live. Oh, let me get my other self logged in here. Oh yeah, I'm still on the Mixler deal. Alright. Okay. There I am, okay. I'm there, let me get that going. Alright, hold on. Is anyone here? There we go. Alright. Alright, there we go. Okay, now I can't tell if it's good, bad, what it is. Hopefully it's good. I'm live, I'm ready to go. Let's go ahead and share it here. Like it and share it. That way people know I'm here. Alright. There it is. Okay, now I liked and shared. I'm good to go. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight's reading is John chapters 11 and 12. And music is the same selection as always. And here we go. I hope that there's no echo today. I got that part turned off. I'm going to mute my mic now. Here we go.
Wish I had a kitchen with a big wooden table and a bay window looking out over the back 40 acres. I wish I had a back 40 acres throw stones in the water.
Hello? Hello? Oh. Why is that muted? Okay, here we go now. Now we got it. I had audio, just none for me. Alright. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. Here we go. Once again.
Wish I had a kitchen with a big wooden table and a bay window looking out over the back 40 acres. I wish I had a back 40 acres full of flowers and cucumbers and a path through the woods down the hill to the river. You there. We'll throw stones in the water. We'll throw stones in the water. Throw stones in the water. Calling on the spirits lost and forgotten, come sit around my table. We'll feast from the garden, tell stories of madness, stories of crazy and lost inhibitions, and adventures to the tops of the highest of mountains and down to the valleys, down and up again. And I'll meet you there. Throw stones in the water. Throw stones in the water. Throw stones in the water. Dear sweet friend, how have you been? I've been around the world and back again. Did you ever get my letters? If you didn't, that's okay. I mostly wrote them down for myself anyway. I wish I had a fire with a circle full of family, your arms around my middle, so strong to hold me, laughter and song, moonlight and stories. I throw words in the fire and give them to cinder. All my fears and desires, cumbersome hindrance, life in the sun, life in the shadows. And I'll meet you there with those stones in the water, with those stones in the water, with those stones in the water. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there.
Well, I wanna write you a story, but I ain't got one to tell. One that's laden with hooks like you're reading a book, and it gets itself stuck in your head. All I've got is this guitar and a heart that's been broken into. A few little songs, hope you'll all sing along and have a drink or two. As the band it plays, and that music keeps calling our names. Who we are and who we're becoming is all about change. I know these stories won't leave us the same. Well, the world, it keeps on changing, but me, I stay the same. At least that's what I tell myself, so I've got somebody to blame. It's time to look in the mirror to the things we cannot see. If this world's gonna get any better, then it has to start with me. And the band it plays, yeah, that music keeps calling our names. Who we are and who we're becoming is all about change. I know these stories won't leave us the same. Well, we've all been caught up in the madness. We've all got stories to tell, 'cause we've all seen glimpses of heaven and walked through pieces all still left here standing, then we won't be afraid, 'cause we're all in this together. I know these stories won't leave us the same.
John 11.
Now a certain man was sick, named Lazarus, of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary which anointed the Lord with ointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore his sisters sent unto him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom thou lovest is sick. When Jesus heard that, he said, This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified thereby. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. When he had heard therefore that he was sick, he abode 2 days still in the same place where he was. Then after that saith he to his disciples, Let us go into Judea again. His disciples say unto him, Master, the Jews of late sought to stone thee, and goest thou thither again? Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours in the day? If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of this world. But if a man walk in the night, he stumbleth, because there is no light in him. These things said he, and after that he saith unto them, Our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go, that I may awake him out of sleep. Then said his disciples, Lord, if he sleep, he shall do well. Howbeit Jesus spake of his death, but they thought that he had spoken of taking of rest in sleep. Then Jesus said unto them plainly, Lazarus is dead. And I am glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent ye may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. Then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, unto his fellow disciples, Let us also go, that we may die with him. Then when Jesus came, he found that he had lain in the grave 4 days already. Now Bethany was nigh unto Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off, and many of the Jews came to Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him, but Mary sat still in the house. Then said Martha unto Jesus, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give it thee. Jesus saith unto her, Thy brother shall rise again. Martha saith unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? She saith unto him, Yea, Lord, I believe that thou art the Christ, the Son of God, which should come into the world. And when she had so said, she went her way, and called Mary her sister secretly, saying, The Master is come, and calleth for thee. As soon as she heard that, she arose quickly, and came unto him. Now Jesus was not yet come into the town, but was in that place where Martha met him. The Jews then, which were with her in the house, and comforted her, when they saw Mary that she rose up hastily and went out, followed her, saying, She goeth unto the grave to weep there. Then when Mary was come where Jesus was, and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying unto him, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. When Jesus therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping which came with her, he groaned in the spirit, and was troubled, and said, Where have ye laid him? They said unto him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. Then said the Jews, Behold how he loved him. And some of them said, Could not this man which opened the eyes of the blind have caused that even this man should not have died? Jesus therefore, again groaning in himself, cometh to the grave. It was a cave, and a stone lay upon it. Jesus said, Take ye away the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, saith unto him, Lord, by this time he stinketh, for he hath been dead 4 days. Jesus saith unto her, Said I not unto thee that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of God? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. And I knew that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was bound about with a napkin. Jesus saith unto them, Loose him, and let him go. Then many of the Jews which came to Mary, and had seen the things which Jesus did, believed on him. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees, and told them what things Jesus had done. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council, and said, What do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, Ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for that nation. And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. Then from that day forth they took counsel together for to put him to death. Jesus therefore walked no more openly among the Jews, but went thence unto a country near to the wilderness, into a city called Ephraim, and there continued with his disciples. And the Jews' Passover was nigh at hand, and many went out of the country up to Jerusalem before the Passover to purify themselves. Then sought they for Jesus, and spake among themselves as they stood in the temple, What think ye, that he will not come to the feast? Now both the chief priests and the Pharisees had given a commandment that if any man knew where he were, he should show it, that they might take him.
John 12.
Then Jesus 6 days before the Passover came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, which had been dead, whom he raised from the dead. There they made him a supper, and Martha served, but Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table with him. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Jesus, and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the odor of the ointment. Then saith one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, which should betray him, Why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor? This he said, not that he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief, and had the bag, and bare what was put therein. Then said Jesus, Let her alone. Against the day of my burying hath she kept this. For the poor always ye have with you, but me ye have not always. Much people of the Jews therefore knew that he was there, and they came not for Jesus' sake only, but that they might see Lazarus also, whom he had raised from the dead. But the chief priests consulted that they might put Lazarus also to death, because that by reason of him many of the Jews went away and believed on Jesus. On the next day much people that were come to the feast, when they heard that Jesus was coming to Jerusalem, took branches of palm trees, and went forth to meet him, and cried, Hosanna! Blessed is the King of Israel that cometh in the name of the Lord. And Jesus, when he had found a young ass, sat thereon, as it is written, Fear not, daughter of Zion, behold, thy King cometh, sitting on an ass's colt. These things understood not his disciples at the first. But when Jesus was glorified, then remembered they that these things were written of him, and that they had done these things unto him. The people therefore that was with him when he called Lazarus out of his grave, and raised him from the dead, bear record. For this cause the people also met him, for that they heard that he had done this miracle. The Pharisees therefore said among themselves, Perceive ye how ye prevail nothing? Behold, the world is gone after him. And there were certain Greeks among them that came up to worship at the feast. The same came therefore to Philip, which was of Bethsaida of Galilee, and desired him, saying, Sir, we would see Jesus. Philip cometh, and telleth Andrew, and again Andrew and Philip tell Jesus. And Jesus answered them, saying, The hour is come, that the Son of Man should be glorified. Verily, verily, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. But for this cause came I unto this hour. Father, glorify thy name. Then came there a voice from heaven, saying, I have both glorified it, and will glorify it again. The people therefore that stood by and heard it said that it thundered. Others said, An angel spake to him. Jesus answered and said, This voice came not because of me, but for your sakes. Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out, and I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. This he said, signifying what death he should die. The people answered him, We have heard out of the law that Christ abideth forever. And how sayest thou, the Son of Man must be lifted up? Who is this Son of Man? Then Jesus said unto them, Yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while ye have the light, lest darkness come upon you. For he that walketh in darkness knoweth not whither he goeth. While ye have light, believe in the light, that ye may be the children of light. These things spake Jesus, and departed, and did hide himself from them. But though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him, that the saying of Esaias the prophet might be fulfilled, which he spake, Lord, who hath believed our report, and to whom hath the arm of the Lord been revealed? Therefore they could not believe, because that Esaias said again, He hath blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. These things said Esaias when he saw his glory, and spake of him. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed on him. But because of the Pharisees they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue. For they loved the praise of men more than the praise of God. Jesus cried and said, He that believeth on me believeth not on me, but on him that sent me. And he that seeth me seeth him that sent me. I am come a light into the world, that whosoever believeth on me should not abide in darkness. And if any man hear my words and believe not, I judge him not. For I came not to judge the world, but to save the world. He that rejecteth me and receiveth not my words hath one that judgeth him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day. For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me. He gave me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak. And I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak, therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak.
is calling me. It speaks both day and night. It's full of dark and light, and I've heard others call from light years away, and they're real and they're here. Space and time are instantly clear. Planets spin, grids in place. We can travel through space, fields and forms, math and voids. It all sings with one voice. It's boundaries set, foundations laid. Sound was heard, matter made. Solar systems from afar. Names and numbers for the stars, and I've heard others call from light years away, and they're real and they're here. Space and time are instantly clear. Planets spin, grids in place. We can travel through space. It's the Lord's.
All right, there we go. That is that. Let me get that other picture up there. First, we'll remove that. Okay. we go. Well, I learned how to do that pretty easy. Get that picture up there. Fairly simple. Alright. Tomorrow night is John 13 and 14. Let me verify that. Yep, John 13 and 14, day 36, for March 21st. We'll be done with this on March 25th. This coming Sunday, actually. And I want to figure out something else to do. So that's why I was asking some suggestions as to what you think would be a good project to work on. And I think for the intermission part of it, until we figure out something, we'll just go through the, like I suggested, the fruits of the Spirit. In which today, fruit of the day, today is for, still Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's still Tuesday. So it is peace. Love, joy, peace. So, yeah, think about it. Think about a topic you might want to study. Think about it could be Old or New Testament. I think I'd rather stay around the New Testament, of course, for current times. But, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was incredible that Lazarus was dead 4 days. Jesus rose from the dead in 3 days. Well, what is the significance of Lazarus being dead 4 days, or was there any? Was it just the fact that Jesus rose from the dead? And it wouldn't matter if it was 3 days or 4 days or 10 days or whatever. He rose from the dead in 4 days. Now, also, when Jesus rose from the dead, and was it then that the graves were open? 500 different people rose from the dead at the same time. These are people that were dead and buried, and then yet they're coming to life. That would have been like the zombie show. Very, very peculiar things to try to analyze and figure out. What's interesting is that when I'm listening to some of these shows on KGRA radio with the paranormal things. You know, we are warned in Scripture to be careful of getting into this kind of strange questioning and such, but in my curiosity and in my endeavor to figure out the truth of things, sometimes we have to get a little bit deeper into some scientific stuff, the paranormal. And if you look at some of the things that Jesus did, raising Lazarus from the dead after 4 days, and other things, you know, that are documented. Think of how many things aren't even documented in what we call the Bible. Think about those things that we don't even have a written record of. Some of it might just be somebody saying, oh, we've seen him do this. Now, talk about paranormal. I think there's a lot of miracles that Jesus did that aren't even mentioned. Okay? That doesn't mean they didn't happen. That doesn't mean they were evil. That doesn't mean they were a bad thing. It just means it wasn't significant enough to be written about in the Bible. So, we could look at the miracles that he did do in the Bible and consider the significance of what they mean for us today. That would be a good study. The miracles of Christ. And actually, let's take the top 3 and consider those and what they are meaningful in our salvation or in our present day life. That would be something to think about. It's not about questioning anything about the miracles. It is simply contributing them to our current day life. Okay. Anyway, think about that. And pray for Mark. He's going to Boise, Idaho, I think he said. Some kind of conference there. Got a plane ride to take. And then he's supposed to be going to some kind of thing in Arkansas. Some other conference. He's got a lot of traveling to do. So pray that he'll be safe on all that traveling. So, anyway, I think that's all I got for tonight. I got done before midnight. We're doing better. Getting everything working. Thank God that it does work. How easy is this to be able to share the Bible in this way? And condemned to jail or taken away. As long as the internet works, we're fine. But amazing that we have this ability. And a few short years ago, this was not possible. Think about that. Technology was not even possible even 17 years ago, 18 years ago. And we've been blessed with the ability to have this technology to share. So let's continue to use it for the good and spread positive words and, well, good stuff, you know, good music and things like that. Let's keep doing that. Alright, that's all I got for you guys. Everyone have a great night, and see you in the morning. 9 o'clock, hopefully, Central Time. Alright, have a great night. See you next time.